David Beckham. One of the most tangible examples of global fame is a true legend. From the mid-90s onward, whether they were football fans or not, no one could pass by without knowing who he was. Beckham became more than just a footballer. He turned into an icon of an entire era. His name symbolized much more than just his talent on the field. Beyond football, Beckham drew attention with his physical appearance, style, charisma, and tattoos, captivating people from all walks of life. He was not just an athlete, he was a cultural icon. Men dreamed of being in his place, and women dreamed of being with him. Beckham was almost like a dream figure. Everyone talked about his lifestyle, achievements, and personal charm. However, Beckham's fame wasn't limited to his successes on the football field. His right foot became a legend of his generation. Every move he made, every goal he scored, became not just a symbol of sport, but a lifestyle. Beckham reflected his unique style in everything. His success in football, his elegance in personal life, his social image, and his charisma all combined to reinforce the immense interest and respect he commanded. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. David Robert Joseph Beckham was born on May 2, 1975, in the Leytonstone district of London. His father, Ted, and mother, Sandra, led a modest life, but one filled with a deep love for football. David's childhood was filled with memories of playing with a football. Even as a young boy, football was more than just a game for him. It had become a way of life. The football matches he attended with his father, especially Manchester United matches, further fueled his passion for the game. As a child, he played for a club called Ridgeway Rovers, and at the age of 13, he won a talent competition organized by Bobby Charlton's football schools. Manchester United noticed this success, and he was invited to youth team trials. Beckham shone on the pitch. By the age of 16, it was already clear that he was a future football star. He joined Manchester United's squad known as the Class of '92. These young talents of the same age group quickly came together in Manchester United's youth academy and soon rose to the first team. Among these 6 young footballers, there was a truly special bond. They never left each other alone, providing a source of morale both on and off the field. However, even within this group, David managed to stand out with his unique style. He made a difference not only with his on-field skills, but also with his penchant for flair. One of his teammates described him, saying, "After matches, we'd all return to the locker room, drenched in sweat, but David always smelled of cologne. I have no idea how he did it." As part of the Class of '92, David Beckham won the FA Youth Cup, and in February 1993, he signed his professional contract. For a boy who grew up as a Manchester United fan, this was a dream come true. But for David, the real adventure was just beginning. The following year, when injuries struck Manchester United, Beckham had no trouble finding a spot in the team. He scored his first official career goal in December 1994 during a Champions League match against Galatasaray. By the 1995-96 season, he had become one of the team's indispensable players. Thanks to his good looks, on-field mastery, and charisma off the pitch, Beckham was frequently in the spotlight. However, his performances on the field were sometimes overshadowed by his appearance. By the age of 20, Beckham had already become one of the most prominent stars in English football and had started to represent his national team. Despite all these qualities, he remained an exemplary team player, putting his ego aside. During this period, Beckham secured a permanent place in the Manchester United lineup, and at the end of the season, he won the first of what would be 6 Premier League championship medals in his career. When Eric Cantona, a member of the Class of '92, decided to retire, he passed on the iconic number 7 jersey to David Beckham. The number 7 has always held a special significance in the football world. Beckham did not shy away from this honor, and from the moment he started wearing the jersey, he became the team's superstar. Perhaps he wasn't the fastest player in the world, but he stood out with his exceptional right-footed strikes and football intelligence. Wearing that special jersey allowed Beckham to reach the peak of his abilities. However, while Beckham's career was progressing perfectly, he encountered a few challenging moments. During this period, he occasionally lost form, but each time he made a comeback, it was spectacular. In the 1998-99 season, Manchester United experienced what might have been one of the most unforgettable seasons in the club's history. After a tough competition in the league, they won the championship and then embarked on perhaps the most challenging journey in Champions League history, advancing to the final. During this process, Beckham played a critical role in the team's success by demonstrating his leadership qualities both on and off the field. His contributions were a significant factor in Manchester United reaching the pinnacle both in England and Europe. In the group stages of the Champions League, Manchester United was placed in a tough group alongside giants like Barcelona and Bayern Munich. After a series of challenging matches, they managed to secure 10 points, finishing second behind Bayern Munich and advancing to the quarter-finals, where they faced the Italian giant Inter Milan. In this round, Beckham's two superb assists allowed United to leave Italy with a valuable draw, setting up a semi-final clash with another Italian representative, Juventus. In the first leg of the semi-final at Old Trafford, United secured a 1-1 draw. However, in the return leg in Italy, they found themselves 2-0 down by the 11th minute. But a perfect cross from David Beckham allowed Roy Keane to score, cutting the deficit to 1 and boosting United's morale. Goals from Dwight Yorke and Andy Cole then followed, leading United to a 3-2 victory in Turin and securing their place in the Champions League final. The year 1999 witnessed one of the most unforgettable Champions League finals in football history. The opponent was the German giant Bayern Munich, who took the lead in the 6th minute with a free-kick goal from Mario Basler. As the clock ticked towards the 89th minute, United won a corner kick on the left side, and even goalkeeper Peter Schmeichel joined the rest of the players in the Bayern penalty area. Beckham's corner kick led to a scramble, with Sheringham managing to get a touch on the ball to equalize the score. Bayern Munich, having led almost the entire match, was stunned by this last-minute goal. Before they could recover from the shock, Manchester United won another corner kick. Manchester. Once again, Beckham took the corner, and this time Solskjaer, waiting at the far post, found the net, putting Manchester United ahead 2-1. The Red Devils achieved a miraculous comeback within 2 minutes, becoming European champions. Sir Alex Ferguson had this to say about Beckham. David was truly a special player. His physical makeup was unique. He was one of the most athletic players in the team. In the fitness tests at the start of the season, he was always among the best. Once, when he injured his metatarsal, the recovery usually takes 6 to 7 weeks, but David miraculously returned to the field within a few weeks. He had a very different character. Whenever I told him something was wrong, he would never accept it. Beckham's stubbornness, determination, and talent carried Manchester United to the pinnacle throughout that unforgettable season. One of the most remarkable aspects of Beckham's career was his ability to never let a mistake affect him. He would continue to fight on without losing confidence in himself. As Sir Alex Ferguson mentioned, David never shied away from responsibility. In fact, he always wanted the ball during tough moments. This explains how he overcame one of the biggest turning points in his career. The 1998 World Cup left a lasting mark on Beckham's career, both as a bright and dark period. England entered the tournament with high hopes, but they were eliminated in the round of 16 by Argentina. Beckham was sent off with a red card after fouling Diego Simeone, and following this incident, he was almost made the scapegoat in England. Already a massive star due to his relationship with Victoria Beckham and his status as a fashion icon, this fame came at a heavy price. Beckham was protested almost everywhere in England and received death threats. He was only 23 years old at the time, yet he continued to play for the England national team despite the difficulties he faced. He overcame this tough period in his career and eventually rose to become the captain of the national team. Beckham always knew how to move forward instead of dwelling on his mistakes. During the 2002 World Cup qualifiers, he redeemed himself with a stunning last-minute free-kick goal against Greece, regaining the love of the public. This goal secured England's place in the World Cup and once again made Beckham a national hero. After those dark days, he managed to become a beloved figure once more. With new players added to the midfield and leadership in defense, Manchester United became a solid team. During this time, Beckham became one of the players with the most minutes on the pitch for his team, consistently surpassing 10 assists per season, and sometimes even exceeding that number. Sir Alex Ferguson may have believed that Beckham could have stayed at United for the rest of his career, but it was clear that Beckham had a different path in mind. The cities where he played and lived, Manchester, Madrid, Los Angeles, Milan, and Paris, are evidence that he had a dream that went beyond football. It's also true that Beckham's wealth didn't solely come from football. During the 2002 World Cup, Beckham's fan base in East Asia turned him from a footballer into a global superstar. This phenomenon caught the attention of a universally recognized club like Real Madrid. The final year of Beckham's time at United was marked by a series of conflicts that accelerated his departure. For instance, before one match, Ferguson instructed Beckham to remove his headband to avoid giving the press anything to talk about. Beckham resisted, and Ferguson finally warned that if he didn't remove it, he would be dropped from the team. Beckham eventually took off the headband and signaling a new beginning. David Beckham's various hairstyles and image changes were more than just fashion choices. They were a reflection of his character. However, there were more important issues than his constantly changing hairstyles. In his final season at Manchester United, Beckham had lost some of his former form and no longer chased down opponents as he used to. Ferguson was furious with Beckham for his mistakes. He kicked a football boot, hitting Beckham in the eyebrow and leaving him covered in blood. This incident was a sign that their relationship was on the brink of collapse. This incident was a clear sign that their relationship had reached a breaking point. Following these events, Ferguson did not include him in the starting lineup. In the Champions League match against Real Madrid, Beckham was brought on in the second half and scored 2 goals, seemingly signaling his interest in joining the Spanish club. The rift with Ferguson had already set the stage for his departure, and Real Madrid seized the opportunity, signing Beckham for £25 million. Beckham left Manchester United having won 6 Premier League titles, 1 Champions League, 2 FA Cups, and 4 Charity Shields. Over 387 matches, he scored 85 goals and provided 98 assists, leaving behind a near-perfect performance. His farewell to Manchester, the city where he first made his mark in football, was a heartbreaking moment for all fans. His move to Real Madrid was one of the most notable signings of the Galacticos era. Under Florentino Perez, Real Madrid aimed to sign one of the best players in the world each year. In 2003, with his golden blonde hair, Beckham was introduced to Real Madrid, marking a major strategic move into the East Asian market. Real Madrid began holding pre-season camps in East Asia, and Beckham's lifetime sponsorship deal with Adidas was part of this strategy. The 2007 film, Goal 2, Living the Dream, seemed to portray Beckham's transfer to Real Madrid and the events surrounding it. But in reality, it was an exaggerated display of Real Madrid's grandeur. Beckham was an important part of the team during his 4 years there, but the anticipated Champions League victory never came. Nevertheless, Beckham continued to succeed, becoming one of the team's top assist providers. In the 2006-2007 season, he won his only La Liga title with Real Madrid. Despite everything, watching such great stars play together was a rare privilege. Above all, David gave his best effort. He never thought individually, taking on the team as if he were the captain, setting aside all his egos. In 2007, Beckham decided to continue his career in the United States by signing with the Los Angeles Galaxy. In his early days in Los Angeles, he was surprised and happy to walk the streets freely without being recognized. Beckham's arrival increased Americans' interest in soccer, and within 48 hours of signing, Galaxy sold more than 5,000 season tickets. Not wanting to be away from the English national team, Beckham was loaned to AC Milan twice during the Galaxy's off-seasons, continuing to play soccer year-round. However, in 2010, he ruptured his Achilles tendon in a match, forcing him to retire from international football without fully achieving his goal. Despite being 35 years old, instead of retiring from football entirely, Beckham continued his career in Los Angeles and played a significant role in his team's back-to-back league championships. In his final year, he won the French Ligue 1 with Paris Saint-Germain and then retired from football. I realized I was getting old when I started meeting kids who didn't know who I was, Beckham says. He never saw himself merely as a celebrity. Rather, he was content with the public's interest in his life outside football. Beckham played for great teams alongside great players, but for him, the highest honor was being Victoria's husband and the father of 4 children. David Beckham will always be remembered not just as a footballer, but as a global icon, a role model, a father, and a husband. He inspired millions to love football and made us all admire him.